We go. We are live right now, and
Hi,
I'm gonna say,
yay!
Sunny, Sunny's here, and it's let me. Okay, so teach me how to say it. Peiming Sun.
Yes, my
Peiming.
real name is Peiming. I got just joke with Lisa, if you say pay me, pay me, pay me, I don't have that much money to pay you. So just go with Sunny.
And is that what you prefer, though?
Yeah, I use
Peiming
Sunny
or
all the
Sunny?
time because it's easier for people too. Because
Sunny. Oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I complain because people don't spell my last name correct. Yeah. You have a much harder problem than I have. All I do on mine is one letter wrong. Yours, yeah, you just say Sunny, right? Is that
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
end up?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they get so confused. You're like, just say Sunny.
And I kind of joking too. If you put PMS together, I don't have that anymore. So
Oh, that ship has sailed, huh? Yeah, for me too. Yeah. That was an experience, wasn't it? You know what was this is probably TMI, too much information. Yeah, so my kid is 16, was going through that a few years back, right
mm,
around the time I was going through the same thing. So it's like both ends of the cycle life, right? And it was like, oh, that was thrilling, thrilling. Yeah. We wanted to kill each other, but yeah, we're still here, so that's awesome. That's
that's
awesome.
right.
Now we know each other from,
The
yay,
goalkeepers, yes,
yay, the Go
yes.
Givers. That has been that's an investment that I make in myself. And I'll just say quickly, I started doing that at the beginning of last year after I was talking to Bob about something else, and I said, what have you been up to? Because he always is up to something, and he was telling me about this, and I'm like, that's perfect, because I was already thinking at the beginning of the year I needed to find a way to meet more people, because if I want to do more business, I need to meet more people. That's all there is to it. So it was a perfect fit. And it's actually like the highlight of my week now on Wednesdays. How did you hear about it?
Well, actually, I'm honored. Oh, I heard a little bit echo there. I honored to actually invite Bob to come to my Asian book club. I have a lot of club in the clubhouse, but one of the club I opened since May is to share books and also invite authors to my
Oh,
platform and interview. So one day I'm just flowing in different room. I heard, hey, this one is Go Giver. What's that all about? For some reason I didn't read his book yet. So I throw into the room, I listen to, oh, this is the guy, definitely need to connect. So I'm just amazing. He's busy and he is such a busy and giver. And he just say, yeah, I'm nobody. And he said, yeah, go ahead. I like to be in your platform. That's how I get to know Bob and join his alliance for a while because I was just kind of fascinated about what we can do and stuff. So I joined the alliance group, and also he's been second time been interviewed by me on the other platform in the clubhouse. So I just like we all giver. For some reason we were gonna be connected sooner or later, right? It's different way, but definitely when we know that's the right person to connect, we just connect
yeah,
because we got the
he's
same
awesome.
message. Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
whole Go Giver thing is just it seemed intuitive to me, and I realized not everybody was thinking that way. Everybody was saying to me, "You're crazy doing business that way because you can't measure everything that you do. You can't measure how being nice to people is gonna." And then, like my ex, for example, used to call it. He'd say, "You're being too nice. That you're just treating everybody like friends. That can't ever work." But is I don't know. Works pretty good. Hey, so you haven't met Bob Berg yet in person, right?
No, I really love to go to that general
Yeah,
events, but
that does look good.
maybe you might know I have a special need kids.
Hmm.
He's 24/7 in care,
Mm,
and now I don't have way to have somebody supplement it, so I need to
right,
be
right.
all the time. And
That's
if I
yeah,
get
that's
away
hard.
for 3 days, I will gonna create a lot of problem in
Right,
my house and who is doing what. So I will
right.
wait until I be
That's
able to
hard.
travel. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to
he's
there.
very tall.
He
I don't
was
know how tall you are, but he's very
is
tall.
really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when
I'm
he
like
sit there,
five,
I don't
six.
see that. Huh.
He's like 6'3" or 6'4" or something. He's very tall. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll
Hmm.
have to send you a picture of me standing next to him. And he's, yeah, I always, when I'm standing next to him, I'm like, how's the weather up there? Because yeah, I feel like a garden
Wow,
gnome.
that is good to know. Because on the picture, he looks just like maybe about
I
5'8",
know.
5'9".
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it because he's it's, he's such a presence anyway. He's got that kind of personality. So
Hmm.
when you go anywhere with him, he goes in the room and people notice him because of his personality anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then of course he's very tall. If you click on comments, by the way, you'll be able to see some. Oh, Tamara, my friend from Michigan, my friend is on, and from Hampton, Virginia, we have a listener on too. So that's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying all that, and I'm thinking, oh, Bob's probably listening. But anyway, yeah, I got a picture of him. I'll have to share with you. When my kid was little, we went out for dinner somewhere when he was up here, and
Mhm.
he had my kid on his shoulder. But I'm standing there next to him, and I look so short. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, so his height matches his personality. That's, I think it's,
Mm.
yeah, he's awesome. But anyway, the whole philosophy is fabulous. Hey, Kathy from Texas. And I think that being part of the Success Alliance, I hope, um, spreads the word more even about the whole philosophy because I think
Mhm.
everyone like me, I didn't believe that it would work. It sounded nice, but I didn't think it would necessarily, you know what I mean? And I do you feel did you feel that way when you first read the book?
Well, it is like because actually I grow up more like that energy. I'm from the East, and what I learned about like we don't have identity. We have the family identity. We have a
Oh,
society identity. So we more become part of the role and function thing. So we don't really think if somebody give you the role, we just do it. We rarely to argue with it anyway.
oh,
So the energy we grow up is more like collective way, but it's not necessarily good, right? Because we do need identity. We do need our voice, particularly for females. Sometimes you will see people in the role they just put providing and doing things and cooking around the
hmm,
house, and they don't go outside to do anything. And if they don't really feel content about their role, they have this resentment, right? So I can see a lot of women in the later age, they feel they have certain emotion trigger problems because they suppress that they don't
oh,
want
their whole
to
life.
say, right?
Yeah.
Because this the throw to say something is to make things happen. But if we lose our voice, then we cannot make anything happen, even we want it. So I can see that suffering all the time. We kind of joke about like if you're a daughter-in-law, you just wait until you become mother-in-law, then you can treat other like the mother-in-law. So it's like a virtuous cycle, right? You always just try to continue. So that's the energy I go. So when I read that, I said, I'm so appreciate someone can see that energy to not to be, totally shifted to that. It's like acknowledge there is a collective energy. We can still merge with individual, right? Then and that become a beautiful thing. You still have your voice, but we still do what we need to do other than do somebody's job,
Now, we didn't say
right?
that, but you're from Taiwan
Yes. Uh-huh.
originally. And how long did you live there before like, what age did you come over to the US?
Yeah, it's about 26. So I'm actually outlived the time there. I lived the country there about 24 to come here.
Oh, so you've been
Then
here
I
longer
here,
than you've
yeah,
been
I'm
there.
30
Oh,
years in the US. So
oh,
I'm,
yes.
kind of outlived the East. But what I find out interesting when I get to the midlife, everything, the childhood thing is start popping out. So I
Yeah.
start to embody my Eastern influence right now. So I follow a lot of those things. Oh, I don't know. But when I read that, it's like, oh, I know this stuff because I grow up with, right? But since it's so far away, I have to embody all this childhood downloading or memory what I have. But I see actually it's perfect for me because I can blend both. That's how I call myself an East-West navigator. I believe if I've never left the country, stay the East, I never know I have part of me different than others. Like it's order to go to some like by traveling or by reading a book, by eat different food, we start to have this awareness. We are have something we don't even know we have it. Then you start to popping out. I think that's how I am now. 30 years in the West and 24 unconsciously living in the East. Now I start to see these things popping out. So
When you
that's
first came over, what was the biggest difference there? Or there were a lot of differences, but
yeah.
what was the most I don't know, uncomfortable maybe?
Well, it's just kind of curious the different communication style. So, for example, that's the first year I don't speak that much English, right? So I try to get the opportunity to practice. So whenever people ask me like, "Oh, Peiming, how are you?" I'm just like sit there contemplate how I'm going to respond to this. Like, am I good? I try to make story, and I when I'm doing that, I think they're gone. They don't even care. So I think, well, what happened to the communication? Like, do they ask me about how, So I'm trying to be respond politely because that's how we talk. When people ask you a question, you have to be sincere and answer it. And but quickly I learned that, well, this is just like we Chinese say the way say ni hao or something. We don't really need you to respond it. So it's the same way here, but it's a different format. Like when we ask people ni hao, that's like it's it's a whole sentence, right?
Yeah.
But when I ask like, how are you, I feel like you want the answer to finish that sentence. So that
Oh, so
communication
you
is
were
so
putting way
different.
too much thought into it. Is that it?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
I just become too serious about, okay, I need to answer the question with the complete story.
That must be hard though, because I'm not bilingual in any language, so any other language. So I can't imagine you'd have to keep going back and forth
Oh
for a
yeah.
while
Hmm.
until you, like now you probably can think in English, but at the beginning you probably weren't doing that, correct?
Well, it is funny. I have the switch now. If
No.
I went home, I'm switched to Chinese. So my thought process, my language is to flow like Chinese. And
Oh.
and there's somewhere on in the air when we fly, right? Then I switch back. So I landed, I would become English speaker. So right now, since most of the time, my family, we don't speak the Mandarin that much, but I do connect with my parents in Taiwan through the internet. So I still back and forth to switch, but this time I don't have chance to fly over the sky.
Oh, for
I
a
just
while.
connected. So I
Yeah.
need to kind of, okay, Chinese or English. So I can shift to that thing to
That
be back.
must be fabulous in a way because you have a lot more opportunities to meet a lot more people because you can communicate with a wider range of people.
Yeah, and I think both world need to kind of understand the other side. Somebody like me or anybody bilingual become the bridge. They can start to bridge their perspective about one side of the society and bring it back to their own, or different way. And I find that a lot in the clubhouse too. And it's just why I love clubhouse, because I even don't have a minutes, I have a seconds to shift it. Because I can go to
Oh.
Chinese room, I can go to English room, but that becomes challenges too fast, like seconds. So I still find out sometimes I'm speak English in the Chinese room, so whoop, wrong place to say that. So it just become a game now for me.
Well, that's pretty fascinating to me because I only speak English. When I went, as we were talking before, I'm an Avon lady, and when I went over to England to speak at a function
Mm,
they had, um, some of them hadn't met. They called me American. I say US. I'm from the US. I don't say I'm
mm,
from America, but they say that. But they actually were surprised. They thought all Americans were selfish. I
mm.
found that fascinating. I didn't realize that was a perception. Is that true where you're from, that they have some preconceived idea of what Americans are?
Well, we have a lot of movies, music. I just particularly like movies, so I watch a lot of movie. I think the perception before I really got here is they're so free.
Oh,
Like, we have like society, really, I mentioned about earlier, we have a role and function. It's like a fix, and everybody need to fit in. So if you stand out, nobody like you. So you have
oh,
to be kind of blend in.
oh,
The
that'd
more
be
the
hard.
more invisible, particularly for female, the more invisible,
Oh,
the safer. So you become like right now. I go by. I don't think I can find a job, to be honest, and nobody want me. It's like
oh,
what, like outspoken lady. So I cannot really fit in anymore. But I fit in here better because I need to be outspoken. I need to say something because based on my journey, when I first come in to get degree, study, and get a job in the pharmaceutical, I still play the little Chinese girl. Right? I want to just follow the rules. But there's no rule. I couldn't see any rule. Everything's like hidden because I'm not growing this culture, right? So finally, I say, if no rule, I just made up my own rule, right? And of course, I got hey, I got the stereotyping. I got all this because they think I should know the rule. Like, how can I know the rule? Come on, I don't really play your game. So I after that I say, okay, enough. I don't care less your rule. I out. I create my own rule, okay? But I think that's just a journey for us to really understand. Yeah, it's nice to have a rule, but if regardless you will be quiet or you be outspoken, nobody like you, and that is the time to create our own rule, right?
I wonder how here wasn't always like this, and it's come a long way even in a short amount of time. But I wonder why, like women in particular, have more freedom here than they do in Taiwan. Because here, even 100 years ago, I tell my kid this all the time. 100 years ago, I don't believe I could have owned property by myself. It would
Mm-hmm.
have had to been a husband or a father or somebody. So
Sure.
a lot has happened in 100 years, but I wonder
Yes.
why that
Yes.
didn't happen there.
Well, again, that's the culture. We have 5,000 year culture that's
Oh,
like
well, that's
rule
true.
and function, right? So it's
Right.
hard. Those is conditioning. The cultural condition is so deep. We all live in like unconscious. Like I mentioned about, if I never have a chance to come here, I didn't know we have a conditioning there because we are just a fish in the water, right? We don't taste differently. We are living is the water until we
Right.
get transferred to a different taste of water. Then we can see, oh, the taste different. So that's the same thing I think, and also because the other than the social conditioning is the opportunity for women. They don't see role models.
Oh,
You
that's a
know,
good point.
they really don't see any. I think the U.S. If I follow a little bit, I think the woman voting is united by several strong women, right? So they even not necessarily as a good role model, but at least we see someone is fighting for their rights,
Right.
right? So
Right.
you do see, oh, they don't get killed, but so like in China, even now, they disappear because you're so outspoken. um Hopefully I
Mm.
will be here tomorrow. But anyway, because I'm not from China, so I'm okay, I'm from Taiwan. But it's just like whenever people start to saying something in the ancient China time, they got killed the whole family, not only you, your parents,
Oh,
your kids, your relative, everybody. They hunt you down, just wipe it out. So that is the culture we condition with, right? So the people become like, all right, be safe, just be peace. We don't want to express ourselves. Particularly for a woman, if you become like that, you'll be told, so you're not going to marry because nobody like outspoken woman. If
well.
you want to get a PhD, nobody want to marry you because you're too smart. So all that labeling is just like, I don't think you can survive, right? You're gonna be
No, I
totally
don't think I
screwed.
could. I got enough. You know what's funny here? It's not like total freedom, really, but I live in a very conservative area where it's unusual that I'm a woman raising a child on my own with my own house and stuff. and I have income and stuff. That's actually unusual here, and there's
Mm.
mostly couples. So the men don't want the women hanging around with me because they're afraid the women will think that my life is better.
You liberate them.
And oh yeah, I'll lead them astray, I guess. I was surprised to hear that little concern, I guess.
But I, since I get away from Taiwan so long now, I really don't know what is the current culture the young woman thinks. I believe they are more vocal, and they do have more the freedom because the internet, right? People can just create
Oh,
things,
right.
and so I don't think they are really conditioned that much. They try to get out that, and more single women in that society goes best on the cultural conditioning. We all believe your parents will keep punning. You're about to get married. Find a mate. You know, if you don't, I'll find you one. Um, so I don't think they do that anymore for the younger
No,
generation.
let's hope
So
not.
that is good.
So, so when you came over here, did you always were you always an entrepreneur, or what did you do for work at the beginning?
Well, I landed here as a graduate student, so I got my master's degree in science, basically doing the cloning. So I
Oh, in
move
science.
genes around. I am
Huh,
molecular biology in the uh,
wow.
a bacterial world. So what I do
Wow.
for my thesis, actually, I work on this like archaea bacteria. They are green color. That actually the bacteria create our ozone layer, like so million billion years because that single cell they just get oxygen out. So we finally have an ozone layer. But anyway, that's the green bacteria, very beautiful. So I got my master degree and worked there in the East Coast for a while to get experience. Then I got hired by the Midwest as a scientist into the pharmaceutical. So I
Wow.
worked there for 11 years, again, moving the genes around, try to figure out how to create a blockbuster to using the genetic way and to block the bacteria so we can control the infection.
Hmm.
So that is my work in the pharmaceutical. But because my younger son has, when he was 7, he got diagnosed with a terminal genetic problem, and the doctor said, well, he will be just 5 years to live. So with that moment, I
Wow.
say, I'm a single parent already. That time I say, I need income, but I also need the time to take him to the doctor, go to therapy and all that.
Hmm.
He been through like 10 therapies in
Oh, wow.
like 5 years. So in that journey, I said, gosh, I don't think I can survive with this stressful scientific work because they don't really do the science anyway. They are focused on the money, right? I
Of
don't align
course.
with that. I just cannot, doing that. Yeah, I got very lump sum benefits and the salary, but I feel I'm dying there.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things I need to do in my family. So I just take the package, just drop and gone.
Whoa.
So I don't have any plan, but I'm investing in the real
Oh,
estate in
you
the
did that with no plan? That's
I have
brave.
investors with me
Uh-huh.
to invest in the house and anything. So I think I'm safe, but that's 2008. So the
Yeah.
house market crash. So anyway, I'm just kind of stuck in there. So how can I don't want to go back to work for sure. And I still have 2 young kids, but then, I have to raise them. So I just think what is the best, quickest way to make money? Food, because I really enjoy cooking. I see my mom cooking all the time and I can cook. So I say, all right, other than do some, I like to educate. So I become the instructor to help
Oh,
people how to cook. What I did is I just have the recipe, not the recipe, the menu. What do you want to eat? And they just pick 3 dishes. Then I pack everything and travel to their house.
oh,
And in their kitchen, I just
oh,
say,
show them how
"This
to
is
do
how
it.
I
Oh,
cook," that. So I
that's
enjoy
awesome.
that a lot. Like 3 years doing that just for that.
Wow.
I'm sharing this Eastern way, how we create this balancing diet, how to do simple cooking, how to mix your cooking sauce. I have blast with it. I love it. But then I look at the bank account and say, this is doesn't enough money for this because not everybody want to book me, right? It's for entertainment. It's not for things they really need. So I think, well, from that, I'm cooking and then I'm just look around and what I want to do. And the Indianapolis, I'm here. They just have this first Super Bowl and the food trucks. The food truck, oh gosh, everybody loved them, and they are like tons of business there. So I say, oh, food truck. So
Oh,
yeah, I run food truck for 7 years.
wow.
So I have this
Wow.
like
That's
20,
awesome.
24 feet long of the trailer, totally
Wow.
7,000 pounds.
That sounds like
And
a lot of work,
I
though.
dry it, I can park, I can do anything because I have to, right? I train
Wow.
myself to believe that is things I need to do. Yeah, so I survived. I raised both of my kids. My younger one is still with us. He's
Wow.
24. Outlived with whatever the doctor say. And my older son now, he's a math teacher. He's on his own. He
Nice.
actually traveled in New York this weekend to have fun with his friend. So I right now is me. Like, what do I want to do, right? So the food truck business let me actually get so busy. I have a line. I have to cook,
Wow.
and crazy, right?
Wow.
To realize like if I can use the same energy to help people to be happy, because I can see they're happy they got my food. It's like, oh, thank you. I just feel good. It's like, oh, the happiness is really let me feel I'm doing the right thing, right? Just like you are make women feel confidence and you wear something they're supposed to smell good. They're happy and you happy, right? Because you are the messenger to give them the products and they're supposed to know. And if they don't know, they need to know from you. So it's the same thing. I need to be some kind of messenger to make people happy. And also because of COVID, to be honest, the reason I don't want to do food truck is too busy. I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
time for myself, for my family, because
That's
everybody
a
wants.
hard. Yeah, I thought right away when you said food truck, that's a lot of work. A lot of work. And the margin on food for profit margin
Now
isn't
is
huge.
that
No,
now is the problem. Yes,
because
yes,
you have to have a lot of inventory to make sure you don't run out of food. But that means you're going to have spoilage on some days, right? You're going to have,
that's
right?
right.
So,
And
wow.
the other problem is nobody want to work hard anymore. So I cannot find anybody. And I also
Had
have
to get
three
help,
hour
huh?
event. I go to 3 hour in the neighborhood. I only need 3 hours. So even I pay them $20 an hour, they still need $60. They don't think that works,
Oh,
right? Because
that's
I'm
tough.
not doing that every day.
Yeah.
So really difficult to find people committed to it. And when my son, older son, when he's in high school and college, he has to come with me. But now he, I am a
Now he's
teacher
like,
now. I
no,
don't
too
have
much
time
work.
for it. So, so, so I'm
Well, that
trying to
must be
sell
hard.
in my trailer right now. And but the season right now is not the season. But
But that's hard to do that on your own. You were doing that without a helper? Some? Ah,
I know where I can survive. I need at least three
yeah,
people. One
that's,
take the order,
yeah,
I cook, and one serve. Right.
yeah,
So
really.
I cannot do
Wow.
that. That's why I'm put on my beautiful trailer out there for sale. I mean, I just like, oh, I love that life, but it's
That's a
useless
hard
for
way
me.
to,
Right?
yeah,
Somebody
that's a
else need
hard
to
way to
do it.
earn money.
Yeah, somebody need to make money. I can go there 3 hours and make $5,000, but I don't have time and
Wow.
energy to do
Yeah.
it. But someone
Yeah,
might
that's a hard one.
looking for it. So I'm hoping someone will find it. I'm parking there beautifully because I don't really
Maybe
go.
there'll be somebody else, though, like you, that needs it to fit in their life at that moment that has family that can work it with them or
Oh
something.
yeah, exactly.
That'd be
This
awesome.
is I was just thinking about, I can see there is a team of family members. They're all hardworking and they want to serve others by providing high quality food, right? Someone out there need to hear this. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
happy I have a chance to talk about my trailer. If somebody hear this, come to find me. I We can make a deal.
And
We
you're in
need to make that
Indianapolis,
happen.
right? You're in Indianapolis, Indiana?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So on listening today, we have Scott, my buddy from Ohio. Scott is an entrepreneur like I am. He's got his finger in a bunch of pies, his fingers, and he and I always talk about like the things we see good a business doing and
Mhm.
things we see not good that a business is doing so that we can translate that to our business practices.
Mm.
He and I are always talking about that. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
texting
yeah,
each other,
yeah.
or you won't believe what I just saw, or we send each other a picture. You won't believe what I just saw. Usually it's not good, but we try to talk about how we wouldn't do that or do it different. And then we have Lisa, no, hi Lisa and Sunny from Northern New Jersey. And we have somebody, if it says Facebook user, if you didn't let them, you have to agree to let them use your name or I don't see it. So if I say Facebook user, that's why. Somebody's on from Nebulon, North Carolina. And Teresa Staples is on from Westmoreland, New Hampshire, which is about 40 miles from me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I told you we were going to have dog problems. I told you.
Your dog want to
These
express
squirrels.
himself. He want to say something.
He wants to express himself. Oh yeah, I've had that trouble my whole life. I think that I'm so thankful that I was born where I was born when I was
Mm.
born because I've had challenges anyway, but they would have been way worse had we not had the freedom that we do have. Because from the beginning, let's see, the one I remember the most, my mother. When I married my first husband, I had a number of them. Don't judge me, but the first one, somehow when I date a guy or marry a guy, I tend to turn off my uh, my voice and I
Mm.
let them run the show. Doesn't seem
Mhm.
like I would do that, but I do that. But then there comes a point where I can't take it anymore and they have to go.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
my
yeah.
mother was saying to my first husband, this isn't how she acts in real life. He said, you're right. She said to him, yeah, you're in for a rough ride because this ain't the way she really is. And once she's had enough of your foolishness, that's going to be the end of you. And he says to my mother, oh, mom, you just don't understand her the way I do. And yeah, well, that's the reason he's husband number one.
Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
that, right? I have, partner couple of those too. I was like, yeah, done is done. So
Yeah, so I don't know if I personally think I'm awesome at being single, so I don't mind if I'm single from now on. That would actually be preferable. I know, but I suppose I shouldn't be rooting for that. I don't know, but
do
right,
you want to hear a secret I just find out?
yes.
Um, because I'm getting to the human design and gene keys now. What I find out is people show up in our life, our energy field sometimes can be good because we attract somebody we are not.
Oh,
So when we attract the energy coming to our life, but because they have their journey, they have their package to carry with it, right? So
hmm.
that eventually will show up in our energy fields and would be too much for us to handle. So
Is
in
that
that
like the
point, we were
opposites?
just like, yeah, like, oh, we need to block the energy. But the only way to block people's energy is separation. For farther away, like 3 more feet. If 3 more feet, energies come to our energy field, so we feel like, oh, uh, that's what I see. But I'm not sure. It's not proven by science. It's the perception. But I think it totally makes sense to me. So,
Is that the opposites attract thing? Is that what you
well, it
mean?
is because we actually that's our build is we always want something we are not.
Hmm.
Because we sometimes we already have something but we don't know, we always want the other we don't have until we finally the chase is just nonsense, then it start to find I have everything I
Oh, I don't
want.
know. I don't want to be married. I don't know. I'm pretty good, but maybe I hit my marriage limit. That maybe that was it because twice was enough for me. I don't want you to think I don't go fishing. I do. I go fishing and I reel one in once in a while, but I'm catch and release strictly now. They all go back.
Yeah, you
I'm not
already know
giving.
who you are. You deserve something better than what you catch,
Well,
right?
I I guess I don't want any man babies, and there seems to be an abundance of them. Am I saying that right? You know what I mean? I want a grown person if I'm going to have
Mature and
another.
respect others and know what they
Right,
want, and they have a
right.
feeling, right? A lot of time they just like a kid, they throw fits, they don't really know what they want, right?
Well, and
Most
I
of the
think
people.
a lot of men, or at least a lot of men I meet, they want to put me in like they expect me to want to cook or want to learn to cook or want to like cooking, or they don't
Mm,
understand why I'm not into that and why I
yeah,
don't believe
yeah,
I need to be. I don't believe
yeah,
I need to be into it.
yeah.
How's that
Don't
my
need to
problem?
be,
Just because
you
I'm
know?
female does not make me uh,
Yeah,
predetermined to
yeah.
want to cook. I guess I don't men assume that to me. I don't know why, but I don't
Well,
know.
you look at sound like it's very gentle and like to smile, and people would take as a wrong indication you're manipulatable, but it's not, right? We
No,
all
no,
have a
no. I am.
different
Maybe I
inner
am,
strengths.
but then I don't. Yeah, that has been a problem for me actually. Is I let it go on, and then something happens, and it's like when you switch from English to Mandarin. Yeah, once I've had enough, there ain't no going back. I don't have any tolerance, and usually the other person didn't see it coming. Like I was simmering for years, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden, that's it. He has to go, and that's it. There's no going back. There is I'm done,
yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
feel
We
bad
all
about it.
had this incubation period, right? Until the
Yeah.
pressure and finally
Well, and
say
the other
we have
person
to
didn't.
start to
Yeah, and the
open
other
the
person didn't
valves.
know what was going on because I wasn't verbal enough about it. So I realized that's a fault of mine. I don't mind saying that. I'm 100% responsible for that. I don't know. It just seems not easier not to say, not to express myself.
Well,
So,
I mean, everybody has different style, and every age will have a different style. I remember a time when I'm teenagers, I was very happy and active kids, right? So I don't have problem to express myself. Even I got punished by my parents all the time. Don't say that because I'm so honest. You know, sometimes I have a visitor from my parents coming. I'm just looking at you. You are so fat.
oh,
That was me. So I get punished all the time. So I always say something I see. I don't really think about should I say it or shouldn't say it.
oh,
But that's how I grow up. I am totally my, based on my
there's no
human
filter,
design.
huh? No,
I'm really connected. So what I
no.
say is from my mind. Um, but I start to train myself. So during the teenager time, I've become very like, when my parents have a guest coming, I would hide in there. They just they want to say, just come on, say hi. No, I don't. So I become very, then I come to here. I have to survive. I have to speak different language. So I have to turn on this vocal kind of the engine, right? In order to, like, I'm only myself. I don't have family. I don't have anybody. I only have a me, right? So then I trying to survive become, then I go through the journey, single parenting, raising and dying kids, struggling with the business, and I'm so busy, don't have time for myself. And I think that's all the reason for me to understand. Now is the time I can look back. What do I really want to be? Right? Do I need to be rude and just speak without thinking, or I want to be isolated, don't want anybody to see me, or want to be fighter, always go out to because life is not fair. So the whole thing I finally realized in 2020, I don't need to be fighting anymore. Well, I still have challenges. I still with my son, but I can shift a different energy, just like go giver. Like the whole time I'm giving, right? I'm a single mom. I'm just give, give, give. This the society wants us the woman to be giver. We just do it in cooking, and I love cooking, so it's no problem for me. But is that because I choose to do it, or it's because I'm conditioned to do it? Right. So I begin to have this awakening that actually I wrote a book about my awakening journey. I'm in the kitchen cooking. Oh, actually, I do become a restaurant owner for 2 years, but I totally say enough is enough. So I was in
That's
the
tough.
cleaning that's greasy and smelling things,
Yeah.
and I finally realized that I came to this country 30 years ago to be a scientist, and now I'm bending down to clean the gooey stuff on the restaurant. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I start to
That's a
like
hard way to
laughing
make a living,
crazy and
though.
say, "This is such
Yeah.
a funny joke, funny jokes." And what? Who is playing the joke? Then, yeah, I am. I'm choosing to see
Now,
myself
when you first
like that.
moved here,
Mhm.
what made you decide that to do that? If you came by yourself?
Well, that's how I see the United States is freedom. We talk about the TV.
Oh, so
I
you
can say,
that's
oh,
what
if
you
I
think
stay
of when
in
you
there,
think
I
of the
feel like,
US.
yeah, I couldn't express, like, because I told you I was doing that, but I got out of punishment. So I feel this, like, you know, trapped feeling. So when I see I can come abroad and my parents support, of course, they pay everything, a lot of money. Then I just say I want to come here. They want myself, my brother, they all here to become educate like high as possible, because the Chinese people, they really value education, so they
Hmm.
will invest anything for their kids to get higher education, but not necessarily smart. I have to say, education didn't equal to wise. Okay, so but they are here to get the degree. I'm one of them too. So when I tell my parents, no, I just want a master, I don't want a PhD, they broke their heart. They said,
Uh,
we invest in you. And I said, I will find a way to survive myself. So get back to your question, is why I'm here alone. I think the fear to be alone is not that important than the desire to be free,
oh, well,
right?
that's awesome.
So I
That is
decided,
awesome.
just pack my two package and come over here and just have fun. I will think about, I maybe just here for 3 years to get my degree and go back. But
Right.
when you taste the freedom, the taste the different air, just like you say, if go to different relationship, you don't want to go back to the old one.
No,
It's the same thing, right?
no.
I see why I got the opportunity shape who I am in different culture by myself, other than the conditioning from everybody around me when I growing up. It's not like bad. I can still be a good mother. I can still be a good scientist in Taiwan. I can still do something in there comfortably, but I will miss all the journey I have, right? Single parenting, all the surgery my son went through, and tell him dying is not the bad thing. Dying is the process we all go through. Just have fun with now. So all this awakening and doing the physical work, I really realized I really enjoy the journey so far, with this up and down things. And so
It
that's
must.
how,
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, that's how I start to contemplate what I can do for myself after I this awakening experience. Then
I was
that's
just thinking it must drive you crazy when you see um, people, especially women, take the freedom that we have here for granted. Does that drive you crazy? Because it drives me crazy, and I'm from here. I actually moved to New Hampshire because it's one of the freest states in
mm-hmm,
the United States. They even have live free or die on their license plate because
mm,
it means that much here. We have a lot more freedom. Matter of fact, you can ride a motorcycle without a helmet here. You don't have it's the seatbelt isn't required by adults here. It's not that I don't think those things are good, it's that I value that freedom for everybody to decide themselves. You know
yes,
what I mean?
yes,
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the things I see. The essence of the freedom is not doing whatever you want; it's the options. You are given the
To be able to decide
space,
yourself.
right?
Right.
Given the
Yeah.
space, you can explore it. And yeah, this is not right. Okay, I still wear a helmet because it's dangerous, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
it's the realization from our heart. We learn that lessons other than people say, do this, do that. Then we are all smart. Like we need to have this concept about why not, right? So if we're not giving
Right.
the space, we follow it because the consequence. Just like me, I got punished by saying things in my mind, but I never changed that. I'm just made a
Well,
different
that's
way.
good for you though. That's good for you because somebody else would have got punished and just suppressed themselves.
But that's
You know
why
what
the
I mean?
changing environment help. That's why I come to the West.
Now, so that brings us to the work that you do now is because you want other people to express themselves. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, particular woman over 40, I'm just heartbroken to feel they are like, okay, I raised the kids, I divorced, I don't have education. I'm sitting in the house, feel miserable about myself, and I'm here to waiting for my time. I have no joy in our life. And a woman say, you can live with the life is joyful, it's lying. I mean, that is just like, come on.
That
You
is so
have
unacceptable.
yeah, it's like waking up. I don't want to knock their heads, but at the same time, I would love to show them how to get out that little self pity, because you don't need education to be somebody great, right? You don't need a husband to really can survive. I don't have it for what, 20 years. I have a partner, but I don't really depends on the money. I'm just support one another. I don't lead his money. I don't live with anything because if he living, I still me. I don't really missing that part, because I'm grounded because the journey, right? Um, and we don't really need a lot of things outside. Really, it's really just the happiness, the confidence, and that is the two sides we want work together, because really transformation only happen alone. We happen in the community. So I have this called hope movements, because I'm in clubhouse all the time. So somebody I connect in Singapore or Taiwan or China or anywhere in the UK, we start to know one another. So I think that community, which is called global, it really just let people, particular women over 40, to unite it using a positive way. If I see you have potentials, we will say, if they are kind of down, say, I don't, when they have to don't not know in their language, we stop them. We just say, take it out. We don't see that in you. Right? Just because you see yourself with that limitation, we don't. Because
No, I love that. And
we need to
on the
build that
scroll
confidence, right?
on the scrolling bar, make sure everybody that's listening goes there. She has Sunny has a Facebook page, and it's the Hope Movement for Women Over 40. And I love that. You know what I found shocking? I think it's shocking. Of course, I adopted my child when I was 42,
Mhm.
so I interact with a lot of mothers that are a lot younger than me. I've been, I don't know, stunned. I don't know what other word to use. How many of the younger women don't get a driver's license, don't work during their kids being young. They don't have any
Mm.
source of income. They're I mean I would have thought that we were past that because then on the flip side of that, many of the women my own age and now that I'm older, I see it all the time is they don't have a career to fall back to when they end up having to support themselves or whether their husband either died or ran off or whatever happened to him, or they decided they can't decide to get out. They're not happy. They don't like their
Yeah.
arrangement anymore, and they can't get out because they didn't work when the kids were little. They took 20 years off and never built a career. I'm surprised that's still going on. Does that surprise you too?
Well, I think it's really the you know if you are a housewife, it doesn't mean you have to work outside, but you need to have a control your own fate, your financial, your health,
Yeah,
your relationship, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a career woman or stay home mom. It's our responsibility to love ourselves. You know,
yeah.
it's because we think, oh, we are safe, we are provided, but is that provided so much
Mm.
forever for you, nobody can say that,
I
right?
don't think anybody can say that. Right,
Exactly.
right,
So the only
right.
thing, like just the cup, if we love ourselves, care ourselves, the cup we need to fill out with ourselves about our independence, freedom, what we enjoy doing, that our boundary. You need to go in the cups. So when somebody want to add some more things, we can choose in and out, right? It's already full. But if we live it empty, we don't love ourselves, we don't care, we just think, oh, I just depends on someone, and you give that freedom to somebody else, then the cup is empty. So you need to constantly add something in. So when you don't have it, that something in for some reason is gone. All right, you have the empty cup. Then you think, sucks. But who made that empty cup?
Right.
Ours.
Well, and I see a lot of women that are they're like, well, it's his fault. It doesn't matter if whose fault it is if you
Yeah.
still have to deal with it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like
So,
you need to love we love ourselves first, and regardless, this unconditional, the greatest love at all is self love. If you don't have that, it's time to do it. Regardless your age, your 70s, 60, 40, 20s. If you have a full cup, nobody can hurt you. And you
well, and
just
I
allow other
personally
people to
don't.
hurt.
I don't think it takes away from raising children at all. If anything,
No.
I think it
Mhm.
shows your children that you take personal responsibility for yourself, and it sets a
Mhm.
good example for them. I don't think it's a negative. How do
No.
you feel about that?
Yeah, because on the DNA standpoint and the biology standpoint, a mother is the best career in the world. You think about, we create the next generation of a human being, okay?
Yeah.
So then you don't have a strength and you cannot tolerate the pains. You only the mother can do that. Like, if you're the mother, you have to just give the head, give it the golden trophy. You are and even better if you have a husband to serve you, they bring the money home. So you are the queen, right? So don't think about you are serving others. You are actually, people serve you. If you make that shift, people will follow your rule because you need to be confident yourself. Then nobody can take that away from you if you allow them, allow other people to me, and it's still our own choice, right? So I feel really the break in my heart is somebody just don't think being a mother is just a mother. Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I think people mistake what I say that
Mhm.
I'm downplaying the house um, homemaker or wife role. I'm not doing that. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is it would, I don't know, it serves yourself and your children more if
Mhm.
you're able to earn income that could take care of you and them in case. And I always hear that, well, my husband wouldn't do that to me. It might not be his choice. He could get hurt at work, or, I mean, it's not like they all run off. He could, you know what I mean? He could get hurt at work or hit by a bus or asteroid fall on it. But there might be, well, I mean, crazier things have happened. But I mean, the statistics are like, I don't know, 80% of women are going to have to support themselves at some point in the process. So,
Yeah, we
um,
live longer than men anyway,
right,
right?
right.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It just, yeah. So a couple of the comments here. Oh, Kathy said, Kathy Graham, my fur baby Jack wants to say hello to Bo, my dog. her dog is listening to my dog. Yeah, he finally
Yeah,
found his way
they
in here.
want the social connection too, right?
Yeah, here's Bo. Where is he? Oh, he's back
Oh
there
yeah,
sleeping in his bed. Yeah, he was mad because I shut the door to stop the light coming on my face, and he couldn't figure out to go around. So he was yapping about that. Oh, and Kathy also said it took being fired from my 19 and a half year homemaker job to find myself and start doing for myself. Yeah, I think I'm hoping that more women won't have to go through that they'll start younger. Not just women, but young adults will realize that they have to tote their own load or be able to, whether you have to do it, I guess is, but be able to. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah.
it just trust ourselves. We all have everything we need. The situation is to give us opportunity. That's it. That's why I
Yeah.
see. If I never come here, never be stereotyping and never lost, the job or something like that. I even don't know I can do things like I'm doing now, and raising a genetic defect kids, and I also learn more about my DNA. So it's all have a purpose for me to go through this life journey, and everybody's the same way. We need to just go through it, trust the process, and live the moments, right? Don't judge to say, oh, I'm suffering, I'm old, move that do not know in your language, and we can create a totally different lens about ourselves. But we do need a community too. Something working alone, you will be the high spiral in emotion, but you drop because you think
Right.
I'm alone. But if your community is someone going up, you can get body up with you, or you going down, people will get you up. So you always need
That's
that
what's so good about your Facebook group.
energy.
So you can find other like-minded women,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know how you feel about this, but to me, I don't even want to inherit money or win the lottery. I don't want money given to me because I feel so empowered when I earn money. That matter of fact, I have a decently big house compared to what I spent most of my life in. So I go to the far end of the property, look back at the house, beat on my chest, and roar because I'm like,
Celebrate, celebrate. Yes.
right, because I'm like, I did that. I'm maintaining that, and that
Yeah,
property is nicer than it was when I bought it because of my efforts. So I
that's
don't
right.
even like to get money as a gift because it feels so good to earn it myself.
Hmm.
I wish
Hmm.
I could give that feeling to people who haven't done that yet because they don't realize what a great feeling that is. You must feel that way too because you've had all these businesses and things.
Well, I know my inner actually is not strive for the material life. I need material life. So the strive for me is the satisfaction about I did it. I have this obstacle coming. I do everything and I survive. That is my drive. I can, superwoman say, the money will come anyway. If I need to do it, money
Right.
will come to my way. So I'm not chasing the money. They come to me. So that's my way. But I have to say, yeah, because the money provide us the security. So if you don't have a security, work on that material life first because you can know you have ability to build up. But like me, I through a lot of program and stuff, I have more security than I used to have. So I don't really need a lot of money to be me happy. But I know money is coming because if I set out my intention, that will come. And but in the way, the confidence and happiness and the connections with people and trust yourself is really just all you need. And the fresh air, clean water, and all the things so we can breathe, we can eat. That is the other set of the things, and we are losing it gradually because that's a pollution, but we can still to preserve what we have and just enjoy that. But that's what I see. But I definitely think women need to be empowered. Women need to find Lisa and myself and everybody around you as a role model and just do what you like to do. You don't need to be exactly like us, but you need to be you. You haven't been hiding so many years not to being you because you don't feel safe or you don't want to be judged, or you feel like I'm lucky, I have somebody on my back. It's not the luck. If it depends on the luck,
Yeah, that's
I don't
hard.
know.
Well, and then an asteroid hits them, and then you're right. Well, you know what though? Somebody I know. This was a few years ago. Their husband went out to mow the lawn on the ride mower. They just happened to be on a slanted hill. It rolled over and killed him.
Oh
So
no.
that would be the same thing as an asteroid hitting you. And that's not that unusual that that might happen because people are in car accidents or whatever. But I think that's a reason that I think people should take it seriously. If you have the ability there to pay your own way in the world, that doesn't mean you have to go do that necessarily. But without the ability, right
Mhm.
away you got a problem. I mean, you know what I mean? I know. I believe that particular lady had to go. She had to move right away because she couldn't afford to stay in
Yeah,
the house she was
yeah,
in. I mean, that can happen. And I've seen that in other cases where they had to change their living circumstance immediately.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
wouldn't want that for anybody because not only are you dealing with um, the grief of losing your spouse, but then you have the loss of your income too to
Yeah, it's
deal
a
with.
lot of
That's
things happening. Yeah, but if that happening, that we can learn from the lesson. That's good. But also, that's painful process when we're not
right.
prepared, because we think about we always have a tomorrow. Tomorrow is coming. Hope is there. If I have time, I know we are about time for an hour. Share a quick story why I realized time is illusion. Okay, what happened is I have the son, right? He need 24/7 care, and during the day I have the A. Like now he has somebody to care for him, but at night I'm the only one to let him sleep, and that is the time we can bond. He can still talk, so we are enjoy a lot of conversation. So one of a conversation of few months back is he would ask me, "Mom, is tomorrow yet?" Because it's about midnight. So I look at the time. Oh, 11:58. No, it's not tomorrow yet. So we talk, and he getting ready. He just said, "Is that tomorrow yet?" And I look at that 12:03. Oh, wait a minute. Tomorrow's never there. We only got right. So that moment, I
Right.
said, really, tomorrow is really just a constant. Never comes. Okay, we always have today. And
That's
yesterday is
true.
always on. So so that's why I begin to live in the moment. Plus, I'm still with him. He's 24 and he's grasping the air all the time. But I can see he still has the life. His spirit will be with us as long as I share, right? And also the distance between life and death is really just one breath away, right? So if we
That's
see that,
powerful.
it's
Yeah.
very, very easy to lose that. And whatever we are doing now is important. Whatever we're happy is important. Whatever we are the mother is important. We just do things the way we want to do and
Now
enjoy that
that's so awesome that you can go through
moment.
such a challenging thing and take it all in and get enrichment out of it. You took power from it. That's awesome. Not everybody can do that. Some people would let it beat them down and
Well,
and
I did for 20 years until I decided enough is enough.
and
So
now
I
you're helping
you
other
know
women. And now that's why you're helping other women, right? That's
yeah,
that's awesome.
my own
Well,
journey, and I know everybody have their own journey. We just shine together. That's it.
well, I'm so thankful that you came and shared with us today. Now, I want everybody to go on the Facebook group and join it so we all can. I
Oh,
already joined because I think that's such an awesome thing. Hope movement for women over 40. And Sunny's thing is combining modern science and ancient wisdom. I love that. So I'm anxious to hear more of what you have to say. And so I'm going to put in the comments and share in our Monday Morning Madness group your links how people can get a hold of you. Could you
thank
also
you.
share in there how they can get your book too?
The book. Well, if I have a paper book already, so
Nice.
I'm the story one. It's actually
Awesome.
a journey with a lot of women together. We are striving beyond crisis.
That's
Um,
beautiful.
since I'm so enjoy our conversation, if someone connect with me and want to be helping me with something, I will willing to give that for free.
Nice.
Right now, I'm asking for 10 beta tester. What that mean? I have this mini program as $200 for people to come into experience for like 30 days for certain calls. And I just want to make sure that people can receive what I'm teaching, then I can shape out with a more consistent program. So I'm asking for 10 tester. If you think you want to hop on one-on-one call with me and like three of different Zoom interaction for classes sharing about human design,
Mhm.
DNA, gene keys, and your own diets, how you can losing weight naturally. That is the program for 30 days. And this is part one of the bonuses. You got three other bonuses. So if
Nice.
think about you were interested and get the story, it's amazing 22 woman story.
That's
Um,
awesome. So
then
how can they get a hold of you if they're interested? How do you want them to
you
get a hold
can
of you?
if you have this link tree link down there.
Oh, okay.
So I will gonna be maybe put a link in there, to contact me through this for interested or the
Why
beta
don't you
test.
post that? Yeah, post that in the group, and I'll make sure to put it in the comments below on
Sure.
the YouTube channel so people can get a
Yeah,
hold of
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it would be
Okay.
great. I just love to have this way to work with people and they can help me out shape out the program and make sure that it's connected. My mind, I'm a scientist. Like my mind talking, not necessarily connect with somebody who's not scientist. So
Oh,
that's my
that's
problem.
awesome.
I just speak what I think, but not necessarily connect.
Okay, I have one more important question and then we are done. Okay, so every guest gets to choose what I send them as a little thank you gift,
Oh
and
my.
that would be brownies, cookies, or sea salt caramels.
Mm.
Ooh,
I love chocolate. Cannot resist that.
so
So,
brownies? Is that brownies
mm,
then? Because they're chocolate. They do have chocolate caramels.
yeah, let me get that. Can I get that?
Chocolate caramels?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
They
you
have
made
chocolate
me
caramels.
feel like
You'll,
I'm already.
you like that. So you stay on. I'm going to stop the recording. You stay right on there for a second so I can get
Okay.
your address from you to send you those chocolate caramels. And everybody,
Thank
thank
you
you so
so
much for
much.
joining. And
Have a lot
she's
of
going to
fun.
post. She's going to post more information in the group page. So stay tuned. Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye. Have a great